So for part 2, section 1, I was able to just go through the docs and then the Imply docs, and then from here I was able to get the Wikipedia information. So if I go to the data section, you can see that I have done this is Wikipedia part 2, which I did the import using the load data feature here. Then I went to new spec, and then I kind of just pushed it from here. Also, there was information here for part 2 as well to add data from the New South Wales Department of Education. There's 2 pieces of information I added here, but the most recent one I added was a CSV file from this specialist support classes by school. So I copied the CSV from here, which is a HTTP CSV. I also imported that using the Druid load data function using HTTP. And again, if I go to the data section, you can see that I have this support data source. This is where all the information is coming from. What else do we have? After that, I think part 3 was to do real-time streaming using Kafka, and then I followed this documentation at the end here. Now you can see all my Kafka services are running. Kafka server is running, the Kafka topics is running. I did the import, and all this information is just here. So this is the wiki ticker, which is for live streaming, and I did the import of what do you call it? This is like what do you call it? That is historical data. Over here, where is that? I'm running the Kafka server. And if I take you to, so at the end when you get to the query data section, so now I copied this query into Imply, and then so if I go to Imply and then to the SQL section, just paste that here. Nope, that's not the one. I'll just copy this again. So now if I keep on querying this, you'll see that the wiki ticker and the live data is working nice and well. You can see it's 6:49 at the moment here. This was when I was the 907 one is when I was doing it before. This was like a week ago, and I stopped that service. I started a new one, so it's 6:49 now. If I run it again, it's 678. If I run it again, it's 680. So I can see that the data stream is working. All right. For part 2 of question 2, I've decided to do to get some data from this GitHub repository. The data is about the Himalayan expedition. Let's see if we can get that. All right. So I got the data from this Tidy Tuesday repository, and I imported it in here. As you can see here, there's the Himalayan expedition. I've already imported this data. And if I go to my Imply here, so this is the dashboard I've been able to generate. So far, you get basically the number of people, right, who have tried to go up on each of the peaks on the Himalayas. And then here you can look at the numbers by season. If you go down, seems like autumn and spring are the most preferable seasons to go, I guess, trekking in the Himalayas. And here I have information about the agencies, maybe the most popular, and which ones like have the most members. It seems like some data wasn't corrected properly. Here you have NA, but the top one is Asian Trekking with about 4,600 members. And other interesting data we have here is like the total number of members, the deaths that have occurred here, and on the treks. We also have some information about the reason why the trek was terminated, and it seems like more people keep like finishing or getting to the peak, which is a good thing. And well, the deaths are low, but we also still want to keep track of what is happening, which seasons they usually happen at, and that's why I have this on the pie chart. You can see that spring and autumn, because they're the most active seasons, they usually also have the higher death count. But yeah, this will help the business determine what the causes are. If you scroll down here, we also have some information about the season and also the termination reason. As we can see here, autumn, spring, a lot of activity happening. Very little activity during summer, and also not as much during winter. All right. Yeah, so I can go and have a look at this data in here. At the data cubes, we can get to see all the dimensions of the information that I pulled in. And yeah, so hopefully that is interesting enough. And thank you for listening.